What's up, Bucks Report? What's up, Bucks Report? Bucks Report.
Go Bucks!
We go hard. That's my squad. That's my team. Go get that ring. Yeah, on that off-season grind. Training camp gotta shine. Put in work, mud and dirt. One game at a time. One thing I know, we gon' go hard. Tap of the squad, the team is so raw. Look out for Quan if you running the ball. Jerry McCoy, Jason Pierre-Paul. We go hard. Go Bucks. That's my squad. Go Bucks. That's my team. Go Bucks. Get that ring. Go Bucks. We go hard. Go Bucks. That's my squad. Go Bucks. That's my team. Go Bucks. Get that ring. Go Bucks. Tampa. Yeah, red and black ball cap, 1-3 reppin' Mikey. A 1-3 for my QB. Play action when he drop back and hit D Jackson for the long pass.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Fire them cannons in the Ray J. No team is hanging with us. Yeah, lead teams in the dust that can't handle the rush. Bust you for talking that smack. Your team getting crushed. Yeah, Levante, Ronald Jones, Hargreaves, Cameron Brake. We on go, no breaks. Humphreys, Godwin, Marpet, Noah Spence, OJ, Donovan, Winston, Charles Sims, Brett Grimes. We on the grind. The South is ours. Watch us shine, making money moves, eating W's in a double move, make them triple shoes. Go hard, yeah, go Bucks. That's my squad. Go Bucks. That's my team. Go Bucks. Get that ring. Go Bucks. We go hard. Go Bucks. That's my squad. Go Bucks. That's my team. Go Bucks. Get that ring. Go Bucks. 813 all day. Tampa Bay. BUCCANEERS. Go Bucks. Tampa Bay on the rise. We coming for that ring. We coming for that trophy. Super Bowl 2018.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of BucsReport.com with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. I always start this. I just have one question: is this thing rolling? And yes, it is. So let's break this down as we always do. Try to do this as topic. Welcome everybody. Mr. Buccaneer Blake coming at you again with some pregame talk before the Thursday night game. Football is officially underway. What up, Dean? We can roll on from there. Appreciate Johnny Dean always being here, first to show up to class for a little session. We're going to talk some game tape today, too. I got to still figure out a way to do picture-in-picture so I could show you guys live on the screen is what I'm doing, because I'm actually breaking down some game tape on the Saints, if you guys really want to go into that. And a couple of formations and stuff they're going to look at so you guys can look at it in the game so you can solidify I know what the hell I'm talking about. I think I know what to do. But let's go on down the road. Make sure you guys give your sponsors a shout out. The Sports Arena, Al Bushman, Christian Jarwan, Eric Wilson, Chris Settle, and the Rat Pack Sports Show with Derek Jones. Make sure to give those guys some love and show them appreciation for putting this all together and bringing me along and all that type of stuff. I got nothing but appreciation just for being here, talking to you guys from my little corner at BUCnBLAKESPORTS.com. You can find me on all social media sites between Twitter, Buck and Blake Sports, and all that. And make sure you check these guys out. Also, Bucks Report is sponsored by Lids in St. Pete. Check out Lids at the St. Pete store, 8004. Contact name is Christopher Shaw. Make sure to check out him out. Use my name, just use "What's up, Iowa in the house," or just show. Just use my name, Buccaneer Blake or Blake Cavill, whatever it is, and ask for Christopher Shaw. And the contact number there is 727-347-9535. And make sure you guys check that out. Sports in St. Pete. If you're not in the area, you can order from that store. Just call in to that store and you can have stuff ordered from there. I'm telling you, just use his name and he'll take care of you. So, of course, wherever you guys are at, where are you from? If you're a season ticket holder, check out. If you're a season ticket holder, rep what section? I'm 147, coming out of Dunedin, Florida, right outside of Tampa. I like that area. Like lots of fishing. Hit me up if you're in the area and you want to fish near Honeymoon Island. If I'm not working overnight or whatever, I'll be more than happy to go fishing. You guys got a boat? Still ain't been on a boat yet, so yeah, hit me up. So we're gonna start from the top. And like I said, as you guys going in, say it a couple times in the chat so I can get to it and post your question up so I can respond. I'm not ignoring you. I try to get to everybody. Dean will tell you I try to get to all your questions and try to answer it. I will not try to ignore you unless I'm pressed for time. And I've got an hour and a half to sit up here and talk with you guys before the game comes on. So please fire them off, and I'll try to get to the best I can. All right, so here we go. What's up, Ron Allen? Ron Allen here from Corpus Christi, Bun B, H-Town, chopped and screwed. I've been to Houston. I'll be in New Orleans on Sunday. I wanted to go there, but I chose the Atlanta game. I still might go to another away game. But let's get to the stuff. Keys to victory. Anybody want to start this off? Dean, you want to start this one off? Or do you want me to kick it off? Anybody in here? What's the keys to victory today before I put my spin on it? California. Now, I grew up on the west side. I was born in Anchorage, Alaska. I've been to L.A. and a couple spots out there, but I was young, so I couldn't really enjoy it. All right. I couldn't really enjoy it. And, guys, also make sure to check out Peter Blake. Peter Blake, I've been supporting him since he started the game. He's making great strides with BUCsReport.com and getting all that. All right, Gardner, you starting it off. Pressure on Breeze. I wanted to talk about that, but kind of isn't that always the recipe for any game is putting pressure on any quarterback? I mean, to be quite honest, I kind of get repetitive, kind of tired of keep saying that. But, yeah, I mean, pretty much in this league, you got to get the pressure. And Drew Brees can kind of see definitely D-line has to get pressure early. Yeah, 4 short throws. Drew Brees struggles in man coverage when you get pressure on him, but you got to get pressure, and the corners cannot be asked to cover these fast receivers from one side of the field to the other. And I'm looking at Drew Brees' side adjustments like right now. I'm looking at Drew Brees. He's in shotgun formation, trips. You got trips right. You got a receiver into tight, like an H-back position. Kamara to the sidecar to the right. Teddy Ginn, far right side. And trips. And they brought Michael Thomas down here to down the motion. So if I'm guessing on this play, Thomas is going to come down and drag right across the field or bend back out, and then Kamara is going to come out the backfield. And that's exactly what just happened here. I said it wasn't Thomas. I'm sorry, it was Ginn, and Thomas was on their side. Ginn came down and curled in the middle of the field. Kamara went to the flats. Drew Brees checked with Kamara to see what the coverage was, but instead he threw it back across the field to Kamara. And back across the field again, sorry. Yeah. So Drew Brees' eyes leads defenses away to throw where he actually wants to throw. And what's going to take is the defensive players not to stare at him so much and just cover their man and let the D-line do their job. And that's pretty much what the keys to victory are going to be here, getting pressure on Drew Brees, forcing those tight throws, and coming up and making a tackle, because there's nothing wrong with making having them throw short throws. You just got to come up and make the plays. The receiver or the running backs try to break tackles. That's where Levante David, MJ Stewart, and those guys are good at punching the ball out. And that's the stuff that we got to do. Take over turnover opportunities, not let Drew Brees just sit back there all day and picking us apart. But long drives by Fitz, keep the D rested. I see what you're saying, Johnny Dean. My thing is for us to win, and we're gonna have to score to keep the defense rested. And like you said, long drives. My key to this victory is, let me go where I'm going with this, the ability to run the ball. Now, watching this tape here, I said their front seven besides Cameron Jordan, they were getting pushed around here a little bit by Chargers offensive line. I don't think the Chargers offensive line is much better than ours. They were able to run on the left-hand side going away from Cameron Jordan. So I saw a lot of big runs coming that way. They're kind of staying away from Cameron Jordan and taking advantage of their pretty slow linebackers that they got. Like I said, they got Monte Teo in there, and not really too many speedy linebackers back there. or inexperienced guys. So I think we'll have big chances to run the ball with Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet on the left-hand side, Ryan Jensen combo blocking up to the linebackers, and we'll be able to move the ball down the field. But that's what we're going to have to stay out of those, Todd Fontaine. You're going to have to stay out of those third and longs. So Cameron Jordan, guys, just can't peel back there and just tear up Ryan Fitzpatrick back there, because that's kind of like what would happen. Because let me tell you what this is. This is exactly what the Saints game plan is going to be. If I'm in their locker room, we're going to go, all right, guys, we're watching tape, just like I'm watching tape on the Saints. What we're going to do is, I said, the Buccaneers are going to try to come out here and run this ball. I said, and we're going to load everybody up in the box on the first and second downs, because we know, well, Monken's calling plays now. Derek Koetter was really predictable. So we're going to load up the box in the first and second downs, get them to 3rd and 10. So then we're going to back off the coverage and put 4 or 5 guys back in coverage, and send the defensive linemen out, pin their ears back and go, and have the defense cover the first down marker and hope and make Fitzpatrick make an accurate throw with pressure on him. And that's kind of like what their game plan is going to be. So Monken's got to see this and know this is coming. And I hope he hears this, because I know this is what the Saints are going to do. They're going to watch this game. They're going to load this box on first and second downs if we come out and run formations. What we need to do is come out in passing formations and then run the ball, so you keep the defense guessing. Don't come out in I formation and double tight end sets, overset right, looking at where you only have 2 threats of receivers outside and they have 3 DBs or whatever back there, knowing they could cover the receivers, when you have pretty much no deep threats, but everybody's up blocking. So you come out shotgun like sidecar right. You line up Cameron Brate maybe at the tight ends. You line them up at the slot on the left-hand side and line up O.J. Howard at the tight spot at tight end on the right, and then you can line up Barber at sidecar to the left, and you can run back to the right side, or you can flip back to the other side. But my point is, like I said, I'm not going to go really all into that. We'll get into that. You'll see how I'll go much more into breaking down game tape when this game plays, but I'm just watch the game. You'll see what I'm talking about, is the way the defense is going to come out. And if Monken I'm assuming he's going to be much more intelligent than me, because he coaches in the NFL, and I'm here talking to you guys. You're going to have to see that that's what the Saints game plan is going to be, and you can't kind of fall into that system as call plays according to where their defense is going, where their game plan and their defense is going to come out, because their main objectives on that first and second down is going to stop us. And if we can pass the ball maybe on the first and second down and set up in 3rd and shorts, maybe you can come out and run the ball, and that kind of throws them off. Then you can come in with play actions, you can come in with screens, you can come in with little short out routes, dig routes, and throw to the back out the backfield and stuff like that. And then you're mixing up. Now the defensive coordinator for the Saints can't really call the game the way he wants to. Well, that was kind of long-winded. Use tight ends to our advantage. Absolutely, because you can line the tight ends out wide. You can still call runs with them out wide. You just got to seal the ends with the defensive tackles. I'm going to say stay away from Cameron Jordan, even though we got Damar Dotson in there. Kind of stay away from their big playmaker. Take advantage of Monte Teo, their slower linebackers that are in there. And where I really see an advantage of us having an advantage is the linebackers covering the running backs at the battlefield, like Peyton Barber, definitely Ronald Jones. If you can catch them in a blitz package, and you can send Ronald Jones out wide, and you get a linebacker on him, you can eat all day. You just got to hold protections enough so we can get the ball down the field to these guys, much like the Saints are going to do to us. They get the ball out to the Kamara out in the open field, and then you may let them put in work and make people miss and get first downs. You turn a 3-yard reception into a 7-yard gain or a 15-yard gain, depending on where everybody else is at when he breaks the initial tackle, would be tackler. Let me see where you guys are at. Todd, you agree? Got to use our advantages. I was just saying, you spread everybody around. You can still line up with double tight ends formations, but don't make it as obvious as that's what you want to do in this game. And I really hope that Monken can see that what I'm talking about here and don't come out in predictable downs. I mean, pretty much like Dirk Koetter last year, and I'm sure you guys would agree, I could pretty much call all his plays. He'll come out in double tight end formation. He'll either run the ball. The defense is in the box, by the way. The defense is set up in the box. You have 9 men in the box, and then he'll try to run a play action play, and everybody's covered up because you don't really have too many receiver threats. The guys are manned up on the outside. You don't really have any time to throw, and you only have 2 threats on the outside. Your other tight ends are running anything, and it takes a little longer for them to break free on those, except for or you get an over-aggressive defense, and we were able to slip backside with O.J. Howard in the Miami game and the the Bills game, and I believe the Giants game where he's able to slip out. Todd says we get into trouble when our trouble on defense when our other offenses go to hurry up. I feel we get caught in base cover too. It's hard to run base cover 2 in the middle of the field because there's too much field to cover, and the middle linebackers really got to get deep. Yeah, I call that really in certain situations. But, yeah, Saints will try to pick up the tempo on us, especially if they see guys huffing and puffing. That's the kind of stuff you can't see from the TV. Remember, I know you guys hear me say the game time stuff where you gotta feel sometimes. You got to know without knowing and see things differently. If I come up from getting hit and knocked down, and I see a corner huffing and puffing with his hands on his hip, I can get the guys back to the line or talk to my receiver and send him on a route and make that corner. Whoever that is that's tired can come across and make a play. It's just small things like that. And Drew Brees is a veteran. Johnny Dean, when you say rotation, what are you talking about? Let me go to some of the other stuff. I don't want to miss you guys. The stuff you're posting. Johnny Dean defense, long drives, fits. Where you guys at? Give me a second here. Again, if you're here, make sure you comment in and let me know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, turnovers and penalties are going to kill us. Fourth quarter, definitely we got to keep playing strong and stay in. All right, where are we at? All right. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be the key is to be unpredictable on offense and be able to move the ball on the ground and take some heat off of Ryan Fitzpatrick, beat down that defensive pass rush so we can get more time later in the fourth quarter where their defense is tired, not ours, because it's usually always been the other way around, is our guys are tired and we're trying to keep up. This will be the first. Jason Gardner says this will be the first season Mike Smith's defensive plan will work like he says. It starts all up front. I do think we have the personnel and D-line coach for Smith's defense to work. You know, I kind of said that, Jason. I said that before. A lot of people keep saying, fire Mike. A defensive coordinator can only work with what he's given. And in any 4-3 defense, the base defense, your basis of that defense is from the up front on the front four. And that's why I thought it was so crazy and so indicative to everything, because we didn't really help anything in the second and in the front line, and we kind of try to bring in Darrelle Revis and pick up Deshaun Ghost. Deshaun Ghost. Am I saying that right? Deshaun Ghost and safety from San Francisco and stuff like that, and we didn't do anything to fix the defensive line. And it's a proven fact right there. When you brought in Darrelle Revis and nothing changed, you were still getting beat over top. Because quarterbacks have all day to throw. In this league, you have to get to the quarterback. It doesn't matter what secondary you have. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls with scrub corners. And I think the first time they won the Super Bowl with Plaxico Burress, Koetter, whatever one it was, I think all the corners out, and they had 3rd and 4th string corners in that game, or very young corners. So be that as it may, it has to be done up front, and I think this front will be. I think these guys been laying off a little bit, waiting for week 1, but I think they're about to wreak havoc. Too soon? No, they're going to wreak havoc on opposing offensive lines, and I think Pete is out. I don't think Bushrod's going to be. I think held out of practice. I think non-football. So hopefully they'll have a weaker offensive line. We're able to get back to Drew Brees. And like I said, it really all comes with that and not giving up dumb penalties and stuff on 3rd downs. to eat sports helmet. Autocorrect. Don't hate. That's got to be Jay. All right, let's see. Where are we at here? Let's move on to the next topic, which would be what are key matchups in the game? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think the key matchups are? Chad Spit, welcome. Spittle, welcome to the fly. Welcome to the show. That fly ass eat sports helmet. It does not say eat. Brian Cock picks us to win the South. What do you think? Anything is possible. And with all these new rules and stuff, I've said before, a lot of people are going to lose some games they shouldn't have lost, and there's going to be some guys that won games that they shouldn't have won with these new helmet rules, and they look like these refs ain't playing this year. Games are won and lost in the trenches and the lines. Yep, I believe it or not, but everybody thinks it's everywhere else. Well, the quarterback play too, but you can't bring games either way. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to go that route, yeah, that's really going to be a lot of it. And our Achilles heel has been protection, but I think a lot of the pass protection problems has come from what I was rambling on about earlier, about being unpredictable in certain situations. Like I said, watch that first and second down. How we call plays on the first and second down. Like I said, I think we should line up in pass formations and run and line up in run formations and pass and keep the defense on their heels and keep the defensive coordinator guessing. Chad Spittle says if we can pressure Breeze, we'll have a good chance to win. We have a good chance to win if we don't shoot ourselves on our own foot with penalties and turnovers and stuff like that too. But yes, I agree, Chad. I agree. How about Ved being held out game one to be 100? I said that before. I'd rather him not come back rushing. I put out a report about oh boy, I have brain farts when I get on here with you guys. The defensive lineman from the Browns, he's gonna come in and fill in a big role there. He could play inside and out. They should be good there. If we can stop Kamara, force Breeze to throw on the run, we can win big. Drew Brees is going to look for him a lot. So, yeah, I agree, Johnny. Villa shouldn't play till he's 100. I want him at 100%. Besides taking, another risk. Oh my goodness. I'll get to that in a second. With this breaking news, I just got breaking news. Vaya shouldn't come back till he's 100%. I agree. I just got an update on my phone. Carson Wentz will not be back for several weeks. They do not want Wentz back until he's 100%. That's their quarterback, and they're saying that. We have a defensive lineman, and they're saying that. And people want their quarterbacks even at 70%, depending on what your backup is like. I'm pretty sure the Eagles, feel confident about Foles playing. Foles hasn't played pretty much well this preseason. They lost a lot of key pieces. That's what always happens when you lose a Super Bowl, especially in the running game, and you're out without Alshon Jeffrey in week 2. Suddenly, this Eagles game looks really winnable to win. I told you can't count your eggs too early. We don't have to worry about Mark Ingram. Kamara's going to be in there full time. I wouldn't expect to see Gilsley in unless it's in the goal line situation, and maybe even then Drew Brees may throw it in there trying to catch us off guard and hit the tight end over top. But that's just where that update just came from, and that's interesting because we was just talking about that a while ago. Like I said, key matchups to look out for, offensive, defensive line, and the linebackers and nickelback covering Elvin Kamara coming out the backfield. If I think we hurt their offense substantially if we cannot let Drew Brees get that ball to Kamara, because that is his savior when he's in trouble. He throws that ball down and lets Kamara pretty much do the work on his own. Here's a good one. I said, who needs to call the plays? Koetter or Monken? What do you think? I like Monken calling the play calls, honestly. He's stretching the ball out. He's calling some plays that are pretty unpredictable, and he's getting defenses caught off guard. And it doesn't matter with what receiver. The offense was pretty much producing with or without starters, so it wasn't making no difference. Like I said, when Winston came in, it was if you still had the starters in, and then you're going to run these plays. Monkey. Yeah, you're gonna call these plays with your key guys in there, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans, and my main man Chris Godwin. So it should be pretty interesting with the way plays are called and things like that. So I'm gonna pretty much enjoy that. That's okay. Autocorrect does that too, especially if you're using a phone. Yeah, but I agree. I believe Monken should be the one calling the play. See, Monken, you almost got me saying monkey. You guys. Hey, you guys. Yep, Johnny Dean wants Monken. The people have spoken. They want Monken calling, not Monkey. Dina. They want Monken. So I agree. I think Koetter should stay in a head coach role and step in when there's times to step in. Ooh, somebody's got something for me. That's what I'm talking about. It's the same off Joe Chajolowski. That's Polish, I believe. I say it's the same offense, but Monken calling would allow Koetter to focus on game management. No, you're good, Joe. You literally just said what I just said. I said he can step in when he needs to, when there's some corrections, and that's a head coach's job to oversee. And I think Dirk Koetter in the past was so caught up in offense and not focusing on the totality of the team, and things got ugly. And your other thing says Joe says it's the same offense. Yes, you said that. It's the same offense, relying to focus on game management. Absolutely. I said Monken had 3 to 1,000 yard guys when he left South Miss. Hey, he just knows how to get the ball to certain players and game plan. It comes from watching game plan, knowing what situations to call and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. With that stuff, you got to know when to call plays in a certain situation, just not being predictable. I mean, I could say that to the cows come home. That's pretty much what it is, not being predictable on offense, so the defense can easily call their game plan against us and do stuff like that. And I think Monken's going to do the job. What do you think? Here's a fun one I usually don't do. Who wins and what's the score? Anybody can go first on this one before I go. I'm the one you got to look at, so I'll go second. Because ultimately, I got the last say. So what do you think? What do you think? Whose wins? What's the score going to be? Is it going to be high or is it going to be low? Anybody want this one first? Giving you guys a chance. High or low? I said, I believe I got the Saints win by 10. All right. I already know who that is. 27-30. I said 24-27. And I think the Bucs pull this one out. I think Bucs going to shock some people on this. I know Jay. I already know that's Jay because he said he don't bet with his heart. But yeah, I got Bucs 27-24 or 21-24, somewhere in that range. If they can get up by 7, I think that'll be good. Bucs by 17, Johnny Dean. Ooh, I like that. Jay said Saints by 10. I already know that's Jay. Blake, are you excited to see what exactly the playbook looks like? I think Joe said it best. The plays haven't changed. It's just who's calling it and who's managing the game. And you can only run, a certain amount of plays, variations and stuff like that. And there's audibles that you kick in with things that you see, whether you want to run or the safety sitting high. You check the audible you audible out to the run and vice versa, and things like that. You check out, you see man coverage, and you want to change the zone. I mean, change to slant routes, because if you're a man, that means there's some type of blitz coming, or they just running man coverage underneath and running the safety as inside help. And that's just things you're going to have to see in the game. That's not really play calls. That's side adjustments. Where you guys at? I see some comments coming in. So Ron Allen says, I think it'll be in the mid-20s or low 30s. I say 27-24 or 30-28 Bucks. That's about what I said, around there. Hopefully the score is lower and the defense is that nice and not letting Drew Brees just sling that rock around. But I got about the same thing. Our offense could put up points just like theirs can, and I believe they got all their threats up. I think their offensive line is a little banged up. If the Bucks stop Kamara, then we can win 24-30. Yeah, I think so too. I said, will the Bucks be able to contain Thomas and Meredith? Absolutely. If you can get to them, keep everything underneath, and you come up and make tackles when they catch the ball. That's pretty much what it is. Stop any extra yards after you catch the yak, so to speak. We can go to Q&A in this section here. I mean, you guys, pretty much we're just beating up dead horse here, repeating the same stuff over and over. Is there any other things we got going on you guys think in this game that I've missed that you guys wanted to talk about? So any injury details and stuff? So Bucks report got Brent Grimes and we got Meredith. Or, talking about the legend Chris Conte. I'll be so surprised if boy comes out and ball today, but I expect him to pick on him. I remember against the Chiefs game. Here's a fun fact for you, Chris Conte. This Alex Smith said on that play when we played the Chiefs, I think we beat the Chiefs on the road, and they were on a really ridiculous win streak. With at home at Arrowhead. Alex Smith threw a pick straight to Chris Conte, and he said that on tape, Chris Conte 9 times out of 10 bites down so hard on a play action that Alex Smith expected him not to be there, and had that time he actually stayed there, he threw it directly to Chris Conte because he really believed Chris Conte wasn't be there. And that's serious confidence that a player's going to be out of position just off of a simple play fake, and that's crazy. Oh, Lord. Joe Cruz, nobody wants to talk about the Falcons yet, so you stay out of this. Ronald Jones a bust already? I mean, I don't think I've seen any fan base that's been so critical on preseason games in my life until I became seriously into reporting Buccaneers and interacting with people. I've never seen people be so critical on it, on every last play, on every base play ran, and calling people bust already. I mean, I guess it makes oh, well, wait a minute now. You ain't said nothing about that. I've never seen, I just think some people just want to find stuff to talk about sometimes, and I understand football's not around. There's nothing to talk about at this moment. But I could go on for days on how many players haven't really done anything in preseason. I mean, the Saints traded up to get Davenport, gave a first-round picks from first this year and draft last year, and he hasn't really done anything in the preseason. That rookie they picked up. So, I mean, it's really hard to say that somebody's a bust from minimal execution in preseason games with guys you don't know who's going to be here. You're calling basic plays. Everything in preseason is pretty much scripted anyway, from both coaches to get live game situations just with on TV. They're pretty much doing the same things that they've been doing in practice off camera that they're doing on camera now. So I mean, to say somebody's a bust that early, you could say that about anybody. I mean, a whole bunch of players if you really want to get into that. Johnny Dean, didn't you know, Blake, preseason tells everything, even if they don't use the playbook? Obviously, I guess when you're a Bucks fan or when you're looking at Bucks players, I guess it matters then. And the funny part in the conversations is when there's a player that they don't like and they play well, it's just preseason. When it's a player that they don't particularly care about and they do bad, then they're a bust or they're not good. So I mean, tomato in that whole conversation. So and yeah, like I said, there's a whole bunch of tangible. I just don't like making excuses for people and stuff like that for whatever reason. Ronald Jones has a lot of learning to do, and that's clear. He's 20 when we drafted, and he's 21, fresh 21 now, not even a month. And if you think the kid was just going to come out here and just light it up, and then, that's kind of our fault too, for myself and other people who talk about the abilities that he has. And those abilities haven't gone anywhere. You just got to learn how to get him now on a professional level. And you have to learn that this isn't college no more. You just can't run and think you're going to outrun everybody. And everybody's just as fast as you. I've known running backs that tell me that when the running back's running and he's used to being so fast and then gets tackled, he looks back and he sees a 95 number tackling. Like, how in the hell did a defensive lineman just hawk you down easily like that? And they'll tell you that, and that's stuff you just gotta get used to. You guys are going ham here. Let me talk about. Oh, Dean, you're saying when the guy wasn't drafted. Let me hear. I heard this Dalvin Cook talk. Johnny Dean. Dalvin Cook wasn't drafted here because Dalvin Cook would probably be in jail, suspended for some bad behavior because he couldn't stay out of trouble at Florida State, and he's from Miami. So we're gonna stick him here in Tampa, only 4-hour drive to Miami, and getting in trouble in the offseason. I mean, is that what y'all really wanted, just to say that you had a Florida State player? Sometimes you just got to make business decisions, and that was a business decision I really understood the Bucks made, and they really thought about drafting Dalvin Cook, probably thinking the same thing I was thinking, that he couldn't stay out of trouble at FSU, and then you're going to stick the boy here in Tampa with money this time with Miami right down the road where he's from. That was a business decision. And like I said, if that's really what y'all wanted, for him to get in trouble just to say suspended just because we drafted a FSU player that you like, then, I mean, it's your opinion. It's your prerogative to think whatever you want to think. But you got to think a little outside the box regardless of whatever college team you root for. Like I said, I really don't like the Gators. And that's another thing why I don't like the Gators. That's a whole nother conversation we'll get into maybe another time. And it's not because I live here. Not because I live here. I'm not a Miami fan or a FSU fan. I'm a Tar Heel fan. So that has nothing to do with it. So that's just other things like that. Where are we at? I know you guys been going ham here when they didn't draft the guy. What Preason told me about Rojo is he can cause holes. What Preason told me about Rojo is he can cause holes. Barber always has. I get what you're saying. And 3 years, you can't compare them to like that. That's you, Jay. You can't compare a player that's a 3-year veteran in the league to a guy who's a rookie in the league. No experience, 3 years of experience. There's a huge gap there to compare that. Oh, he's running through the holes. Yeah, because everything slowed down for Barber now. He's been with these guys for 3 years now. So that's not really a good comparison to compare somebody with experience and somebody without experience. Now, sometimes, you got to put your head down and go forward, and he's got to learn that too. Right now, honestly, we truly won't see where the team is usually until week 5, because at that point, teams are usually in their groove, and they think about after week 1, half the teams will be 0-1 and others will be 1-0. Yeah, I mean, different beasts completely. Yeah. Thank you, Dean. That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't compare them to. No experience, plenty of experience. Starter experience, no starter experience. And that's the argument with Ryan Griffin. Cool, I'll be there, Joe. Hang in there. I'm almost done. But I think Rojo will be fine. If he stays in the book and stays working, he's going to be fine. And you guys, hopefully he'll eat y'all words. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying eat your words, how you feel about him, because it's so early. And what I mean about staying in the book and working, a guy like Ronald Jones, who's here all the whole offseason, stayed out of trouble, stayed working with everybody, stayed with Winston, did all the stuff that he did, and versus like Austin Safarian-Jenkins when he's here, lazy, showed up late, wasn't working, came to practice drunk, got a DUI. Those are two different things. That's a bust because he really didn't like football, and now he realized he was about to get out in the league. Or forget about him because he got that mind frame that you're in college still. Oh, they have to have me. No, we don't. Well, move on. Yeah, he's 3 for a reason because he's not catching up. Well, he hasn't got it yet. I mean, yeah, he's 3 for a reason. I'm not going to make excuses why he should be a starter. Why not? He just has to figure out things that he has to figure out. And whether we put him in what game plan it is, and his game might not be running between the tackles. It might be catching screens or running out there catching passes out the backfield. It don't matter to me as long as you contribute. So that they said that's a whole different thing. Everybody's not going to be this Le'Veon Bell and stuff like that. So whatever reason we drafted Ronald Jones, hopefully they use him for whatever reason it was. I don't think Rojo is a bust. I think he'd be the starter by the end of the year. I wouldn't say starter. I mean, yeah, running back, that's rotation and game plan. And being I know, I agree. He better hurry up. As running and game plan and seeing where they're going to be, I agree, Tony. He'll be fine. He's 21 years old. Jeez Louise, like you guys got your first job out of college. I'm sure there were some older guys that didn't think you guys would do well. Like ASG wishing the best. Yeah, and ASG got it together and figured it out. He got a little older and figured it out. And that was a guy who was distracted by the Tampa life out here in Florida, getting drunk, getting messed up. And there was people I know that was around him that were not telling him the things that he needed to hear and just wanted to be the groupie thing and letting him go down that path. Yeah, that's Jay. He ain't fooling nobody, Tony. And that's just where we're at. Bell is the most hated man in Pittsburgh. I don't know what he's doing. So, I mean, I don't know if he likes football anymore, and then somebody's going to pay him this money, and he's going to flop, and that's going to suck for whoever picks him up. It's just, I mean, Jay's entitled to his opinion. I mean, he's upset because we picked up Jones in the second round, probably a guy he didn't think we should get, and then you come out having a flop in preseason. I've never talked to Ronald Jones personally, and hopefully I do. I can get in his head a little bit, and I'll give you guys my personal opinion of what I got from him. Hopefully he'll let me record it. So I've got nothing else really because the game comes on here in another hour and 15 minutes or so on. We'll end this as we always do. Yeah, Tony, J Bucks is wrong. He's don't be short-sighted. Well, and it's as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with this, entirely up to you. Thank you, guys. God bless. I appreciate everything you do for you guys. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Keith Larson won the. Well, I did tell you before, but Keith Larson won the raffle. We got up $500 for the thing, so that was cool to the Dream Forever Foundation. That was cool, and hopefully we can do more stuff like that. Guys, just stay tuned and stay with me and check out everything. So. I just appreciate everything you guys do. Bucks Report, Jay, Tony, everybody. All the love that you guys give me and supporting time I ask you guys anything. You're always there for me, and I appreciate it. Keith Larson, everybody. And make sure you guys check out the Rat Pat Sports Show. Check out Lids and St. Pete, our sponsors. And I just appreciate everything. Jay Buck's word is golden. Thanks, guy. Johnny Dean, always here. Appreciate everything you do for me, guys. Thank you, guys. Be safe and God bless, and fire those cannons.